Yeah, man, if you're wearing headphones, how can we hear what you're listening to?
WTF! WTF!
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the city of Lafayette, Louisiana for paying their respects to the 4 NXT superstars who died on their way to last night's Monday Night Raw. That 3-hour moment of silence they held in the arena last night was really touching. What's that? Nobody died. The fans in the arena for some reason sat on their hands while 4 of the best professional wrestlers in the world made their Monday Night Raw debuts. Thanks for doing that, Lafayette, because there's no doubt about it. Vince McMahon will have seen the reaction to those 4 men. He'll think that nobody gives a hoot about them. We'll never see them on the main roster ever again. Which might be a good thing, the way things have panned out on NXT TV over the past 2 years. But right now, as I'm standing here, it feels really bad, and you're to blame, Lafayette. I'm an angry Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. You're presumably an angry sexual wank fizant, and let's take a look at some angry WTF moments from this week's Monday Night Raw. Was anybody else watching Triple H's sentiments towards Becky Lynch at the start of last night's Raw with a face like that meme we've all seen a million times? You know, the one that makes you go, now I know he's supposed to be like Becky Lynch's dad because he's the American dad-ass on his little scooter on the grandest stage of them all, point at WrestleMania. But he sat back last week and watched Vince McMahon jackhammer Becky Lynch out of the main event of WrestleMania, and he did nothing about it. What's more, that big schneck prick stood there right in the face of Becky Lynch, having a go at her for being scared of Ronda Rousey. It's a pack of lies. But last night, though, he was stood there going, oh, wasn't she so cool? Oh, she was so badass while she was stood there dressed like a reverse Kill Bill, a Bill Kill. This Jekyll and Hyde thing that's going on with Triple H in WWE today, you know how he's the Princess Diana of professional wrestling in NXT before coming to the main roster and being a massive dick. It's a massive mind shack to begin with, but it's spreading to many more facets of his personality. Hang on a second there, Triple H, you cannot stand there on Monday Night Raw and say the 9th wonder of the world, China. Think about the kids and their computers and the Google on the computers and what they'll see when they Google the 9th wonder of the world, China. How does it go, Triple H? They might see things they're not supposed to see at that age. Is that what it is? Aye. God forbid these kids have seen the Warrior Award being bannered about and Google that supposed wrestling god and see what he's actually like. Maggle. So less than 24 hours after big baldy bastard Baron Corbin and his 2 big, sweaty, beefy pals stuck Braun Strowman through a table at Elimination Chamber, Maggle Cole is confused as to why big baldy bastard Baron Corbin is smiling seconds before a table match against Braun Strowman, despite the things that happened at Elimination Chamber so shortly before. Do you reckon there's a chance, Maggle Cole, that since there's no disqualifications in a tables match, big baldy bastard Baron Corbin and his 2 big beefy pals might try and do the same thing as what they did at Elimination Chamber? And because he knows they're going to do that, big baldy bastard Baron Corbin's all like, don't have a cow, man. Of course, I write the script for these WTF moments as the show is going on, so the real WTF moment here is, why did big baldy bastard Baron Corbin not do what he did at Elimination Chamber? Did he not see it work?
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee. What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
Oh, big baldy bastard Baron Corbin can't do what he did at Elimination Chamber because these tables matches where there are no rules are one-on-one, and there's no change in that. No big beefy men can get involved if they want to. That's according to Renee for some reason. Oh, hey man, Renee, you're talking absolute bollocks here, pal. We know your husband Dean's given up, but you don't have to follow suit.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Well, it's a good job I used the word allegedly during that Elimination Chamber WTF Moments video, isn't it? Yesterday, of course, I asked the question if Corey Graves knew the allegations put against his name were false, and because of that, he was playing us marks like a little fiddle, or if he was just a massive bellend. And after that story put out by Pro Wrestling Sheet, it looks like the former is correct. But putting all that to one side, Corey was back in this week's Raw digging himself his own grave when he said that Braun Strowman is arguably the strongest man in WWE. Sorry, Corey, I must have missed the time when Bobby Lashley was spinning an ambulance like a basketball on his finger, and when Brock Lesnar put a limousine on top of his medium well-done steak. From a purely kayfabe standpoint, Corey, nobody comes close to Braun, you silly goose.
Made a grave mistake, Corey. Corey.
Ronda Rousey's looking forward to WrestleMania, but she better not look past Ruby Riott. Bloody hell, man, Corey, after that absolute pile of steaming bollocks we saw at Elimination Chamber, where Ruby Riott was beaten like an egg in a bowl. She's practically a ghost at this stage, man, Corey. There's no way Ronda Rousey can't see past her. That's how bad she did at Elimination Chamber, and that's how crap she is in WWE's eyes, presumably. Finally, somebody has explained why each and every WWE superstar somehow magically has a beautifully edited promo package to point at and then play during a promo when they point at the screen. The mystery around every single WWE superstar somehow being a master at Adobe Premiere Pro is now over because Paul Heyman, thank you, Paul, explained that at great expense to himself. He had that film made about Brock Lesnar on last night's Raw, made up by some people with money. Now then, I'm not one to dispute Paul Heyman, but I'm going for it. Me balls are root. Now, during a Brock's life, Paul Heyman explained how Brock Lesnar defeated the biggest box office attraction of that era, you know, the Attitude/Ruthless Aggression era, The Rock, to win the WWE title. Now, I've seen numbers, I've seen men talk, I've seen science facts. We all know that Stone Cold Steve Austin was the single biggest box office attraction of the Attitude/Ruthless Aggression era, and The Rock has far surpassed that since he went into the films. And then Eyeball Paul claimed that Brock Lesnar slaughtered all the competition in UFC and got bored, and that's why he came back to WWE. Well, Paul, in the vein of Q from Impractical Jokers, I'm here to say to you, well, not quite the same pitch. Cain Velasquez, Aleister Overeem, they've got something to say about that. As we all know, I'm all for heels telling pork pies, but this was two pork pies too far. And next up we have your boy Finn Bálor talking about the greats who held the Intercontinental Championship while he was growing up watching WWE. Razor Ramon was mentioned, fair enough. Shawn Michaels was mentioned, fair enough. Ric Flair was mentioned. No! As we all know, Ric Flair did not win the Intercontinental Championship until he defeated one half of Five-Star Wrestling's Masters of Cool, Carlito, Caribbean Cool, in 2005. And that year, your boy Finn Bálor was 23 or 24 years old. He literally is Peter Pan.
What she say? Say, shut up, Renee.
And next up we have Renee mentioning Evan Bourne as one of Ricochet's inspirations, and there's no doubt about it, at least 50% of the watching audience for last night's Raw said, who the hell's Evan Bourne? He's never been mentioned by name in bare time, Renee fam. How the hell is anybody supposed to know a man who's never mentioned at all? And by the way, kids, if you're wondering, he's the fellow who does the shooting star press into the RKO. The things they do when somebody's a free agent, they're kinky bastards. Other names mentioned by Renee as inspirations towards Ricochet were The Rock, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, and Eddie Guerrero. And then Michael Cole replies to that saying it's funny because Ricochet's in-ring style directly mirrors those former WWE superstars. Yeah, Michael, I used to love The Rock's 630 off the top rope. It was electrifying. So while there's a relentless sequence going on between Lio Rush and Ricochet, the referee, he couldn't give a toss. But when Lio Rush tagged in Bobby Lashley though, imagine being so excited by something so boring, eh? Jesus Christ, Ricochet, you do flip after flop after flip after flop when there's absolutely no need to do flip after flop after flip after flop. When all you need to do is a little hop to complete a tag, you stay flat on your feet. That's just arse backwards, son. Arse backwards. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Wankety Wank. Thank you very much to Christian for pointing this out to me. I have no idea what it means. He said it should be in the video. His tweet had 1 like, so I trust him.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Here's a direct quote from Corey Graves. No, we're not going down that alley again. He said you need a Rosetta Stone to understand what Tucker says, or Otis, or what a slap to the tits that is, Corey Graves. How can you not know the difference between heavy machinery? You've got Tucker, he's the boring one who could also shag all night long until Vince McMahon took his last name away. Then you've got Otis, the darling of all our hearts, a lovely family and a stronger Instagram game. They're chalk and cheese, they're so different. How can you not know the difference, man, Corey? And while we're here, Tucker, you saying that you and Otis have a pack. That isn't right. It's a pact. Just because you're blue collar, it doesn't mean you have to be stupid. Oh no! Lacey was at it again. She looked like she was going to walk down and talk, then she turned round and walked away. Oh no, gutted. Jesus Christ, man, talk about another segment that makes you do that mean face we've all seen a million times. The sort of, what the hell are they trying to do by just having a walk out there going, I can't be arsed anymore, before turning round and going back to the back again? What's the point? What are we supposed to, And what's worse, they're dragging my boy Otis into all of this by having him and Tucker just walk down the ramp and then do the bushwhacker routine up the ramp again. I don't understand. I'd rather paper cut myself than watch Lacey Evans do that again. So despite being in this supposed new era where automatic championship rematch clauses are done with, and despite being part of a tag team who were thrown together, given a robe, and nobody gave a crap about, bloody hell, man, Chad deserves a hell of a lot more than this, doesn't he? Chad claims he's confused as to why a couple of up-and-comers from NXT, who have the single most compelling storyline in recent WWE history, are facing the Revival instead of him and Bobby Roode. Jesus! After saying what I've just said there, I can't think why, Chad.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Corey Graves claims that maneuver there led Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano to the top of the tag team mountain in NXT. It didn't though, did it? Go back to TakeOver Toronto where DIY won the NXT Tag Team Championships. It was a double submission spot. It was tantalising. It was arse, sweating, squeaky bum time. Could the Revival hold on? And no, they couldn't. 3 weeks in a row now with Charlie Caruso being a massive arsehole. She collars your boy Finn Balor and Ricochet backstage. She says, "Hello boys, you've just seen Gargano and Ciampa. Their big accomplishment by defeating the Revival. But let's not talk about that accomplishment now." Why bring it up then? Why the hell bring it up if you're just going to toss it to one side like you used Johnny? Wrestling. 2 NXT superstars have just pinned the Raw Tag Team Champions and you're just standing there going, doesn't matter. Will you stop being a dick, man, Charlie? This is 3 weeks in a row and it's too many weeks for me to take. Owen Steen turns diddler. In the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast sense of the word. Daddy Kevin Owens, whose brand new gimmick is quite literally being a dad who likes professional wrestling, goes to the cinema with Owen Steen. He gives Owen Steen a crisp $20 note. Owen Steen goes to the counter, he gets a drink and some popcorn and comes back with no change. What a bastard, eh? If he did that to me, I'd have powerbombed his sorry arse in public. And that's why I probably won't ever have kids and I'll die alone. I hate my job sometimes. Bailey stood there on last night's Raw and said, "Hello, we're your first ever WWE Tag Team Champions." But you're not. That was Luke Graham and Tarzan Tyler back in 1971. Face it, girls, last night you got lucky, but tonight that luck runs out. Wap-a-ba-ba-boom! Tamina there, speaking words into a microphone, dropping sick bars, making sense and proving once and for all why she's the greatest professional wrestler in the world today. The WTF moment that surrounds all of this to do with Tamina, of course, is why I'm seemingly still the only man in the world who believes this to be true. She's the best, man. You just haven't realised it yet. Hang on. Seth Rollins. Apparently we can call Paul Heyman a lot of things, but a liar is not one of them. But I proved a few minutes ago that he is. So fight me, Seth.
What'd she say? Shut up, Renee.
Here's a direct quote from Renee Young during last night's main event between Ronda James Cuthbert Rousey and Ruby Riott. Ruby kept saying everyone's overlooked her. Ronda's overlooked her. The WWE Universe has overlooked Ronda. Yeah, you're right. You got her name wrong. You whip, you nay, and you proved Ruby Riott right when you didn't mean to. So there. And a gust of air that presumably lifted that house off the floor that came down and killed an old witch. That was created by Ronda Rousey last night on Raw, and it knocked down Ruby Riott as well. So that's it for all your WTF moments from last night's Raw. I'm very sorry, there's spray paint gone on in here, and I'm off me tits. See you tomorrow. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at @RossonWrestling. Pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. But most importantly of all, subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us everywhere we have the things on the world of social media.